Weiss, friend of the show, has brought in a number of visiting Pakistani journalists to come in and have a conversation about the way they live and the way we live. Ahmed Yula, Musarraf Zarhor, and well as Nubat Malik. Now, we were talking about Donald Trump. You told me off the air that you don't want to talk about Donald Trump. Trust me, we don't want to talk about Donald Trump either, okay?
Yeah, we have better things to talk about. Come on.
He might be our president, so we have a little more at stake in this.
Are you sure?
Now, you guys know about Ted Cruz, but more importantly, you know about Ted Druz.
Yes.
Do you have frozen custard in Pakistan where you guys are?
We do, but not
like Ted Druz.
Yes, exactly.
What did you have at Ted Druz?
Yeah,
Does he have the concrete?
Yeah, it's very delicious. We have in Pakistan like the ice cream, but not like that.
Yeah.
So it's very delicious.
Okay.
It was really delicious.
Now let me teach you something about American radio. Ted Druz is a sponsor of the show, so even if you didn't like it, you have to say you like it. Okay.
That was my
So you should
question,
tell me the
basically. Then why are we talking about it?
You should next time you go and have the McGraw concrete because that's named after me.
All right.
So there you go. All right.
That's good.
Do you have any questions of me and my job and how we do our job here? Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, we have some question like if anybody else was asked the question, so sure.
Yep. You do. How long is this show? We have been told it's 4.
The show is 4 hours.
4 hours.
Starts at 6 a.m. and it goes to 10.
Okay.
And we have a series of national news and local news. We do sports, we do traffic and weather, we do fun, silly stuff too. We talk about Prince dying, and it's not all hard news.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's St. Louis news. So we'll talk about there's a local bill going through whatever city or county or whatever else, and so we'll talk local stuff, and we'll talk Donald Trump too once in a while, but or whatever. But and we'll talk about the big stuff like terrorism and safety and national security and world politics.
There's no particular format of this program. It's just 4 hours. You segmentize it.
It's just me being brilliant for 4 hours. It's a good question because in America, media is a lot, and it's getting more this way. It's more segmented. So you have right-wing media, you have left-wing media, and you have a point of view in the media. And what's a lot of people say is dangerous is that you only listen to who you believe. So if you are conservative and you only listen to right-wing media, you don't get the other point of view. So, and if you're liberal and you only listen to the liberal point of view, you don't hear the other side of the argument. So as it becomes more and more polarized, people become more and more polarized. And I would argue that the genius of America is our compromising. We're able to understand the different points of view, and if you don't listen to the other side, how are you ever going to understand the other side? So what we do here, and we're lucky enough to do it here, is that we invite everybody. We take liberals, conservatives, people who are right, people who are wrong. That was a joke. But they come and they sit and we have a conversation, which is why I wanted you guys here, because you bring us a different point of view.
Yeah.
That we don't necessarily get to hear. People who live in Pakistan, who are believe in democracy, believe in freedom of the press,
of course.
And you have a chance to talk to St. Louisans to sort of change that perception.
Yes.
So that caller who called up who said all Muslims want to kill Americans, I want to expose and show how wrong that caller was.
Yes.
So, okay, I have a question from you. Actually, we are journalists, and every time we ask questions. So, in Pakistan, we have 2 hours show, and sometimes we are second tired that, it's too long time. Or you are talking about 4 hours. So, what do you think? It's enough time?
It's not how long the show is, it's how long the segment is. So in the morning, you're getting up, you're getting the kids ready for school. You have to eat the breakfast, you have to get off to work. So you don't have an hour and a half to listen to somebody on the radio. So those interviews are shorter. So we do maybe 4 or 5 minutes on the news of the day. So at 9 o'clock, most people are at work, they're settled in. They now can listen longer, or there's a different audience now at 9 than there was at 6. So this afternoon, mornings and afternoons, lends itself to more longer conversation. Yeah. So it's not the length of the show, it's the length of the segment.
Right. I have a question. What kind of social media implications have you seen, like when this?
Yeah. Well, Twitter was invented by a guy here in St. Louis.
Of course.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
But how popular is your Twitter feed?
Huge. No. So I would not be on social media unless I had to be.
Why is that?
Because it's a form of advertising for the show. It's a form of advertising for the content. Mm-hmm. And so if I do this interview with you guys, I'll tweet out a link to this segment. Hey, we had 4 Pakistanis on the show, and they don't want to kill you. Tune into what they, tune into what they say, right? And so it's a way for people to find the show. But what's fascinating about this is that when the raid in Abbottabad to take out Osama Bin Laden, that was tweeted out by a Pakistani.
Yes.
A few minutes before it happened, right? The tweet was, hey, there's a bunch of helicopters overhead.
Yes, I remember that.
And so it was broken. Think about this for a second. Yes. It was broken on Twitter by somebody who was watching it happen, and Twitter was invented here in St. Louis. So don't tell me we don't occupy the same world, right? We don't occupy the same space. Look at how we are interconnected just by technology. Think about that for a second. Yes. So let me ask you about terrorism, and let me ask you about that raid, and what were your thoughts, and what were the thoughts of the Pakistanis when Americans went in and got Osama bin Laden? What was the show? What was the news? What was the feeling? What was the talk of the area when that happened?
Well, of course, there was a segment of society who thought that it's right what happened, and
it was right for the Americans to come in.
No.
Oh, it was wrong.
No. What happened? Like if there was an Osama bin Laden, and but then of course the sentiment was that no one is allowed to jump into the sovereignty of the country,
right.
Or to the way it happened.
Yes,
people were not very much happy about it,
right?
Because I don't know why, but there should have been a sort of a system or sort of a thing which should have adapted before doing it.
Right.
So there was an anger, there was a negative sentiment that why it happened the way it happened.
Right. Yeah. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, as Nukhbat said, that in Pakistan, a majority of people, they don't like that kind of action, that why US come without permission of Pakistan, because it's against our sovereignty, and also for drone strike also. So if you're talking about Osama bin Laden, so the people, they're thinking that if Osama was there, so why not they inform us? Why not they inform our government, our army? Mm-hmm. So if they have a giant operation against Osama bin Laden, so it will be better instead of that US come from Afghanistan side and they attack and they kill Osama, and then they took to...
Well, I think the reason they would tell you is that they didn't trust the Pakistani government, that somebody wouldn't tip off Osama bin Laden.
No, I think it's not like that.
No, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm saying that's the argument they would tell you.
Yeah, but Pakistan, the government of Pakistan, they also trying to catch, or they want to kill the Osama bin Laden or Ayman al-Zawahiri and some other the TTP leaders or the Taliban. So they also trying to kill them people.
Yeah. I got a break. I got a break. Visiting Pakistani journalist with us, Ahmad Ullah, Musharraf Zahor, and the third one is...
Nukhbat Malik.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. 938 here, Big 550, KTRS. Menino's Market in Cottoville, ladies and gentlemen. How about this? You need a good butcher? Everybody needs a good butcher. Menino's Market has got baby back ribs, $4.29 a pound. Looking for a barbecue hamburger meat? Listen to this. They got great ground chuck and ground sirloin hamburger meat at Menino's. $3.49 a pound. Looking for some homemade brats? I'm going to a barbecue over the weekend. Got to pick up some homemade brats from Menino's. Large selection of flowers and planters. Homemade potato salad. Homemade macaroni salad. Don't forget about the warm French bread each and every day at Menino's. It's that